7 o'clock, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Let the minutes reflect that all board members are present. If everyone take a look at the consent calendar and the minutes from our last meeting, any additions or corrections to either? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept both?
I move we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Here.
Jeff Clamp,
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass,
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. New business, good turnout, welcome. Anything you wish to say before we continue our business?
Hi.
Thank you very much. Glad to see you. All right, let's move on to Chief's report.
The only thing I have to add, update on the roof, I talked to the folks and they sent us a stack of paperwork for Dean to sign, and I'm kind of wondering why we have to sign specs. So he's going to come in this week and explain it to me why we're signing and what we're signing and where we're signing. Short of that, they'll be here in mid-July, barring any more bad weather.
Let me know when he comes, Jeff, if you're around.
Yeah.
You sit in on that too,
That'd be good.
because the stack is like this. I don't know what the deal is, but
Well, it's 6 copies, so it's actually stacked by this high.
that's 6 copies.
It's 6 copies.
But there's no place to sign that
No,
you see.
I can't find any place, and like I say, it's technical specs, so unless you're a roofing expert, I don't know. So he's gonna kind of explain to me
Yeah.
Okay.
why we're signing.
Definitely like to know what you're gonna be getting into.
Yeah.
Now, we have the contract, but I mean, this is different.
Yeah, this is
specs.
technical
I
specs
don't know
and,
what that's about.
yeah.
It's probably what they're agreeing to do as far as what's already.
Yeah, that's what I say,
But
it's
if
gonna be flashed this way, and it's gonna be
Right, but if
zipped
it's
down this
that
way.
thick, I
and-
don't know why it'd be that thick. I mean, I've seen a lot of specs on
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Things I should say it later, but I just happened to near witness an auto accident up here at 4th and, or 7 and 4H. And by the time the police ran down the hill and I turned around, before I get out of the car wash, the sirens, these guys were coming. So that's how quick the response time was. Unfortunately, there was at least one fatality and
My
the other 2
friend's
were.
sister-in-law, she lived down on Markson Road,
Is that right?
65 years old.
Okay, Jim, want to go over your first quarter report?
Well, I distributed a copy of it for you to read. Just a second. The first quarter, our expenditures was appreciably below the straight line. Overall, we're at 17.64% of the total expenditures, which is, about 7.36 below straight line, which equates to about $76,000. And so that gives us a little bit of a pad going in the second quarter, which is almost over now, really. And of course, personnel expenses are down almost 9%. And when I say down, I mean, below straight line. And also, all the expenses other than salaries was down. So we're carrying a little appreciable pad into the second quarter. I didn't see any problem at all, in our 3 monthly files and looking at everything. And as I said in my last paragraph, I think the chief's doing a good job of keeping everything straight. And as far as the budget report for this month's meeting, 4 months, it's basically tracking about like the first quarter. Overall, we're below straight line almost 8%, which for these particular figures equates to about $80,000. So we got a little bit of pad going on the following quarters.
Good, glad to hear it. Anything else? Okay, motion to accept Jim's report.
I moved to accept my own report.
I'll second.
Someone else second? Any discussion? Okay,
Why don't I move to accept his report?
thank you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and,
I think that's more kosher. Let's make it, yeah.
yeah.
I just can't stand the quiet. Somebody needs to speak up. You guys don't make motions quick enough.
Jim's in a hurry.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass,
Yes.
Jeff Clemp,
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. Along those same lines, I mentioned the auditors should have come today, but didn't make it till this week. The auditors will be here to check everything, and historically, they have met with me and asked the standard questions about our accounting practices and security and that type of thing. And Jim, they, like last time, will interview you too. So that's coming hopefully this week.
That's gonna be this week?
Yeah, they were supposed to be here today, but they had a illness, so,
Well, I got a few things going on this week, so I'll need to,
okay.
I got an appointment tomorrow afternoon.
Well, it takes 10 minutes, and they're pretty flexible, so
They'll be here probably, what, 3-4 days?
they'll be here 3 or 4 days, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll work it in.
Sometime in that frame, so I'll get a hold of you when they show
Yeah, just do
up.
that.
I don't know when they're gonna show up now, so.
Okay, moving on for items for discussion. Start with the bylaws. Again, Jeff, thank you very much for setting up the format, especially for people like me that doesn't know how to do it. Looking over everything, and I'm not sure I got everyone's comments, but saw most of them. What I'd propose here is that we look at our comments, make sure we have everyone's comments. Since next month is really light for our fire district meeting, we might have a work session instead, and this being one of the items on our work session. And that way, bring everything in, hash it out. According to our bylaws, then we need 2 weeks notice of the printed. So if we get it done middle of next month, it would be ready for approval at our next meeting.
Sounds good.
So what do you guys think? Because we really have nothing on the agenda for June.
The copy that was mailed out, is that the complete markup copy?
Since then, Rick has provided copies or comments, and Dean has as well. So Dean's having a hard time coming through, but I did receive Rick's. Yeah, so he's more computer savvy than Dean.
I didn't
Just wanted
get a
to
chance,
copy before I get out, though. So,
I didn't get a chance to reconcile the copy that was mailed out, what, about 3 weeks ago or so?
Yeah.
Against my copy, but I don't believe my copy, since I started it off, I think during the chain, all my comments got gobbled up somewhere.
well, I noticed, and again, I'm not that savvy, but after I made my comments and copied it, got out of it and came back, it was all gone. That just your comments in red. Charlie's were gone, Lisa's, everybody's was gone. But I saw everyone's comments except Rick's. I never saw his.
So you erased everybody's comments?
No.
Okay.
They're right here. They're in print.
I'll take Rick's and yours,
Okay.
combine them so we have all of them, and I'll resend it back out.
Great. That'd be
That way
perfect.
it's-
We get them out, we can kick them around, and then at a work session, maybe get it done.
Yep.
So you feel confident we got one copy that's got everybody's markup
Yeah,
on it?
yeah. At least the last one that I sent out had everything.
And I
still
believe
have
that's
that.
this one.
Huh?
I believe you're in blue.
Yeah,
If I- Okay, yeah, I had all those. Charlie, you were yellow, I think.
And what I did was, I went ahead as soon as I got them and printed them, just like you did, so
Okay.
if they got lost or in the shuffle.
Good. And Lisa, you were purple, I think.
I think so, yeah.
You're a good girl.
The, how could you do that?
So,
Anyway,
I automatically did it. I didn't get
I was gonna use purple, but then I seen you there beat me to it.
Just like your comments, I think you're right. It throws trustees in there, et cetera, et cetera. We're the board of directors, and I fix that up as far as the directors will, the board of directors does, and so members, that's some of that clean.
I know one
Jeff
thing
cleaned
I
up a
picked up.
ton.
Yeah, I was gonna say, most of what you seen in there was a bunch of just cleanup that Jeff put
Right.
in there. And I matched up the old with the new.
Why don't we do that? I don't have Rick's, but actually I do now. He printed it for me. So Jeff, let me give you those.
Yep.
I'm saving money.
That's fine. This is the one I think had everybody's comments on, and mine are added.
Very good. Yep.
And then there's Rick's.
I have this too. Oh, you're blue.
I thought it was green.
You might be.
Yeah, I thought it was green. Anyway,
All right.
Okay.
Where we at under study session?
Give Jeff a little time there. How about, I would say,
When you want that study session?
It can be whenever.
well, see, we're late this month. Let's, why don't we look at, say the, 15th? 1, 2, 3, third Monday?
Mondays are good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Leave it on Monday?
Yeah.
Charlie, you good?
Yeah, that'll fly.
Guys?
What are you talking about?
We're talking about having a work session instead of a board meeting on the 15th of June.
15th of June, okay.
So then we don't have a meeting on the 1st?
No,
Okay.
that's 2 weeks.
Where? a little late.
Do you want to have a study session here or out the
And
station?
that's on the bylaws, right?
Well, whatever.
Whatever.
Bylaws would be one of them, yeah. Maybe some budget items if that comes through.
Good.
Okay, we'll do
I
that.
mean, it don't make me no difference. Seems like most of our study sessions are out there and the regular meetings are here. Don't make me any difference. Make you any difference?
I don't care.
No, doesn't matter to me.
I'll probably
You guys
go
want to meet
on.
at Station 2 and
Just don't pull no
For the work
surprises,
session?
because I can't.
Hmm?
I say, don't pull no surprises on me if you need something, because I can't grab it from out there.
All the files are here.
Yeah, that's why I say, if you need something.
We have to dig something
Yeah.
on the file.
Basically, we're not having a regular meeting. All we're going to do is do the bylaws that everybody's seen and
Yeah.
got. So I don't think you'd have to dig anything up that we already got.
Now, why don't we do that 15th, Station 2? Bertie, you guys don't have a meeting that night, do you?
No,
Okay.
they meet on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. Budget?
Okay, I give you guys a first look at the budget. Basically, the expenses are where I'm projecting they'll be. Income is still, we won't know that until the end of June. So a month from now, I may know something. Jeff asked a question, he wanted a history, and if you pay attention to the first page, that's where all the history's at, that you guys asked for that several years ago. You also asked on motor vehicle tax, why that we went from 97 last year to 75 this year to 105 next year. That's income. So why it drops,
Yeah.
it has something to do with Topeka, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you think overall we're looking probably at about a 3% increase?
From what the paper said, the 3.5, so I figured 3.5, and I don't know where we're gonna be at in there.
Okay.
So, I think Jeff asked some other questions, and I think I answered them.
You did, yeah.
So it's basically internet type stuff, and
Increases for internet,
Yeah.
electrical, and things of that nature, yeah.
Is 3.5 the increase in valuation, or is that the increase that the county and the government has determined would be our share of whatever the
Well,
total
it's,
tax income is?
Leavenworth County
I mean,
is like the north end of the county will get like a 1% increase. Leavenworth gets about a 2, we get a 3.5. You get down to
Oh, okay.
Baser and Tonganoxie, they're up to 8. So it depends on where you're at basically in the county. The valuation in the south end went up faster than the valuation up in
So
the
it
north
is
end.
tied to the valuation somehow?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, and that's all we get is valuation of personal property.
Yeah.
or your home and cars, so. And I did put in for additional personnel, one person, two persons, and three people. I did not put in four, you know, the ultimate goal was to have 6 people on staff, or 4 people on each shift. 4 more people would have been over the 9 mills, so that's why you don't see the additional 4, but I did put in 1, 2, and 3. Right now, growing 1 person would be no increase in the mill levy, it'd just be pretty much right straight across. 2 is a little increase, and 3 is, of course, more increase, so something for you guys to chew on for.
It wouldn't increase the mill levy.
No.
But it would increase the salary and the insurance and
Yes,
everything else.
yes, but the mill levy
You gotta
would
look
stay.
at that, because that's where the money comes from.
Yes, but the mill levy is basically right there.
Okay.
But I think everything else pretty much stayed in line.
Where does those numbers, that blue line, the mill levy, where does those numbers come from?
The income,
Yeah, where do those numbers come from?
the motor vehicle and recreational vehicle and commercial vehicle, and that CMV, that comes from Janice Van Paris, and those are hard numbers, we've already got those numbers. The unencumbered cash, that comes from the audit. That's whatever money we had left over last year, so I just guessed at $10,000. I don't know. It's going to be more than that because we basically have to save enough every year to cover at least 1 payroll. So we spend that money, but then it counts as unencumbered, so that's what we start the next year with. So again, I just threw that there as a placeholder. The miscellaneous money is just a $9,000. We decided years ago that for any miscellaneous income we get in, so we put that at $9,000 so we can have a place to spend it. So we have a line item back in the back to spend $9,000, but if we don't get $9,000, we don't spend $9,000. I think last year we got in $5,000 something, we spent $3,000 in miscellaneous, so that's why that number's there. I mean, we can raise it lower, but $9,000 is a pretty good, we never make over $9,000. So, and then the ad valorem tax is basically what we take the money we're going to spend, subtract the money from the other income from the miscellaneous and all that, and that's the money that's left over, and that's what we have to budget tax. And then we have to add in the neighborhood revitalization, which is the gift the city gives to the businesses to let the business come in. So we have to levy that and then turn right around and give it back. So, and luckily that's getting lower every year, so.
Right off the top, because I got confused, on our indebtedness, that's what I'm calling our indebtedness, is because that was kind of real iffy. How many vehicles do we owe on? I know we owe on the new.
We owe on 2.
Okay, that's all we owe on. So any other.
One of those will be paid off next, we have 3 bonds right now.
Right,
We have
that's
the-
where I was
We have
going.
2 trucks and radios. We paid the radios off today.
Okay.
Because that was due, we had 2 more payments this year, and there was no sense to keep paying, it was $1.06 a day interest, and hey, for another 120 days, we saved $120 interest. So we paid that off today. Next year, we have, one of the trucks will be paid off, and then in 8 years, the other truck will be paid
Right,
off.
the new truck.
Right.
And I knew that, and I didn't know what other truck.
Yeah,
And
and that's all we owe right now.
then, the only other thing we're talking about, expenses of $94,000 for the roof.
Right, and that's coming out of money we already have saved.
Right, that's not gonna be,
That's this year, that's not next
right,
year.
right.
Yeah, we've got a CD that's coming up due in July, and they show up in July, so that's gonna work out pretty decent. We'll go up in July, and Dean will sign a letter saying we want to draw it out, and then we'll draw it out, and I think there's gonna be $87,000, so we'll take 80 of it, because that's what we budgeted, and then take 7,000 and put it back into another CD. So,
Shop around for 0.001 more
yeah.
percent. That's right.
Yeah. It ain't much.
No.
Hey, Rick, what I was getting at is under option one, all the way down to that last blue line that's entitled mill levy,
Uh-huh.
where did that figure of 119,816,817, who comes up with that figure?
119.
It's in the blue line there.
Oh, okay.
Barely can read it.
That's the valuation.
That's the valuation.
That's the valuation we're talking about, and that's the number I do not have yet.
I know, but I mean, that's what it is.
That's our estimated
the
valuation.
That's your estimate just for
Right.
planning purposes.
This year, it's $115 million,
Right.
and I'm estimating a 3.5% growth. It may be 3.25, it may be 3.75, I don't know. So we won't get that number until about a month from now.
He just times it by .035.
0.035. Well, I didn't,
That was my,
program
I
did.
just didn't know what that figure was.
But I typed program in, so
Why
yeah.
don't we go ahead and be thinking about that for our work session also?
Yeah.
I mean, not gonna.
Yeah, I may have numbers, but I don't think I'll have any more hard numbers. Like I say, the only number I may have is the unencumbered cash, but it's going to be minor. It'll be
Yeah.
15, 12. It's going to be right around in there someplace. And then the neighborhood revitalization, I'm guessing it went down 4,000 this year, so I'm guessing it's going to go down 4,000 next year, hopefully.
Besides the bylaw.
So,
But, you know, we're pretty loose on agenda, so we could talk about budget too. If
Oh,
people have
okay.
questions
Okay.
at our work session, it'd be a good
yeah,
time
there's
to
a
do
couple
it.
other things we need to talk about too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. Just gives you a look.
And when we vote on it in July or August?
You vote to publish it in July, and then we vote on it in August. So basically, you approve it in July.
The hearing is in
Is
August.
in August.
Budget hearing.
Yeah, and that's when the gravel hits the pavement, whatever.
Yeah, always a good time.
Yeah. But you guys have to approve publishing in July.
Sure. Okay. All right. Anything else on the budget? Any questions at this point?
If you guys got any questions, come in, we'll talk about it. It's fairly simple, but it's complicated. I mean, most other budgets got 14 volumes, and ours is, I try to keep it as simple as possible, because that's what I can understand. So,
Okay. Board member concerns? Jeff?
I don't have any.
Charlie?
Okay. I talked to the chief last week, and I talked to the sheriff. They're waiting on us to put a request in, letter of, and I brought this up last meeting, that once we get the letter requesting the state of Kansas Department of Prison, that we request the property that the fire department sits on, we have to request it. Once that request, and you'll have to sign it on the board. From what I'm hearing, and I talked to Steve Fitzgerald again this last week, and Steve said he's waiting on us. Once we get it, he'll take it to the Senate for us. And he's already talked to some people in the House. And the director of prison, it's not going to cost us nothing if we can get them just to deed over the property that the fire department sits on. And I told him when I talked to him, it was actually law enforcement awards deal, but yeah, we were spending another $94,000 on the roof, and we're always spending money, heaters and air conditioning and all of this. And he come to the same deal. He's just waiting on us to get a request, and once you sign it, and he told me to get a hold of him and he'll run the ball for us.
But Rob, before we do that, shouldn't we plat how much space we want?
Well,
that's why I met with the prison.
I don't know how much plat will cost us, but
I was under board direction that we don't want to make the Department of Corrections upset at us. So that's why I met with the warden, to get them on board with what we're doing.
right,
And I think Dean and I talked about this, and I think we need to have a work session on it so we can kind of discuss it.
and I don't mind that, but we need to get it going. And the thing is right now, we're not asking for nothing that we ain't already got. Now, if we start
Right.
asking for more property, then, and I guess, and to answer your question down there, when this was originally built, the state has, and they know exactly how much of their property that we're using, that this sets on.
Well, that's all I'm saying, we need to know exactly where.
It's there.
Where the
I
boundaries
don't,
are.
I can't tell you what it is, but it was done. They know exactly what they agreed for us to use and have. And so that's in there. And right now, if we put in a request, that's all we're putting in for is what they've already given. We're not asking them for no more 30 foot this way and 20 foot that way or anything else. We're just saying, okay, we've made a lot of investment for the taxpayers, but we own the building and you own the property.
Well, I would like to, as Chief said, discuss a few of these things in executive session
Okay.
or a work session to make sure we're looking at all the sides on this. And I hear exactly what you're saying, and I think we all feel the same. I would like to see ownership of the building. We're leasing the land for $1 a year, or $1 period, but land is one thing. The issue came up with the original agreement that the building we put up should have been our building. But like I say, I want to kick a few things around that we're not in public forum and talk about that before we
Okay.
draft anything.
I just think it's an opportunity for us.
Oh, it is, yeah.
To finally get it worked out, saying, okay, now we're investing in our own, I mean, we own it and we maintain it, but we don't own the property that it sits on.
Right?
And the city of Lansing's in the same boat, whether you know it or not.
Oh, yeah. Water
With
treatment,
the
waste
water
treatment.
treatment.
Yeah,
And,
That's right.
and when I was talking to those guys, you know, I just told them, I said, well, they're not happy with that situation either, because,
Sure.
and I told them, I said, well, I don't have nothing to do with that. I just care about the fire board, that's where I'm at, and we're gonna go forward with this thing and make a request that they deed over the land that the building sits on. They're not ever gonna use it again, and the only thing that was ever said, and I don't know, I guess you're talking to the warden, that in the deal, if they do it, we just gotta agree to the same thing we always agreed, that we would give the state penitentiary fire protection like we're supposed to be doing anyway. You know, I mean, as long as they're getting fire protection, then I don't think there's gonna be a problem.
well, like I say, I want to make sure we explore all the avenues, but I do want to discuss it with you all in executive session
Okay,
before we send out a letter.
we can do that on the next one, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can't do it in the next one unless you're gonna do it at the study session, that's not legal.
Well, we could do it, but we could talk about it at the study session. No reason we
Okay,
can't.
okay, you said executive session.
Well, if we did it in this meeting, yes, it would be an executive session.
Right.
But if we do it at work session, that's fine with me. too.
Okay, I mean, I don't care how you do it, I'm just saying if we bring it in executive session, you gotta be in a regular meeting,
Right, that's correct.
and you can't be in the study session.
Right.
All right, well, we'll look at that.
We
Anything
can
else,
if you
Charlie?
use your own.
No, I
closed session.
just want us to get to moving on it, why I think we got a good shot at maybe getting it done after all this time, and, we got somebody willing to do it for us up there in the Senate and in the House, because we talked to some people, they had a problem.
Nice to have an ear there.
Well, it wasn't costing them nothing, they already gave it to us, technically.
Okay, Jim, any concerns?
No.
Lisa? Okay, hearing none. Next meeting will be the 15th, which will be a work session and not a formal board meeting at Station 2. So with that in mind, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
All right. Way to jump in.
That was quick.
After that fast.
That was quick. Good reaction.
Well,
Charlie Shoemaker,
yes.
Jeff Clamp,
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass,
Yes.
Dean Mulberger.
Yes, thank you all very much for coming.
Do you guys know that the